if you are the employer that the only way you can recruit the employees is to pay higher, pay more than every one of your competitors, you are likely going to succumb to pricing pressures and not make a profit.
I can see the whole wide world with these two eyes, and I can be whoever I wanna be, 'cause it's my life.
Hi, thanks for joining us for another episode of Ask Spurrell CPA. Today we're talking about Edmonton Business Coach. Things employees value more than money. So again, Edmonton Business Coach, things employees value more than money. So Trevor, I know you've worked in different industries and ran different businesses, do you think that money is everything to employees?
No, money is not everything. It is a big thing because, next to oxygen, it's something very high on the have to have it scale. Mm-hmm. But I think people are more interested in the type of work they're doing, that they're doing something meaningful, that it's interesting, and that they have fun doing it. Because they're going to be there most of their life, at least during the week.
Yeah.
They're going to be at the job. Yeah. So it better be something that's more than just a paycheck.
Yeah. So the quote that we have here, Michael Gerber quote, author of Our Favorite E-Myth, is a quote that I've come back to before, and it really does, bring out this issue. It says, most people today are not getting what they want, not from their jobs, not from their families, not from their religion, not from their government, and most important, not from themselves. Something is missing in most of our lives. Part of what's missing is purpose, values, worthwhile standards against which our lives can be measured. Part of what's missing is a game worth playing. And that business, we can make, as business owners, we can make that game worth playing for our employees. The statistic that we have here is 50% of all Canadian businesses will go out of business in the first 5 years, and 23% of these failed businesses will list their inability to recruit and retain the right team as one of the primary reasons for the failure, making it one of the top 3 reasons. The inability to get the right team is one of the top 3 reasons that all businesses go out of business. And the story here is business owners, we think, we're lulled into thinking that we looked at too many spreadsheets and too many financial statements, and sometimes the CPA is the result of that, is that we think that the employees value the rate of pay beyond anything else. So, Trevor, what are the questions you think these business owners should be asking?
Well, question number 1, is the highest wage sustainable?
So generally from a financial point of view, if you are the employer that the only way you can recruit the employees is to pay higher, pay more than every one of your competitors, you are likely going to succumb to pricing pressures and not make a profit. So if you have to pay more than all of your competitors to get the same skill out of an employee back, financially speaking, that's actually not a sustainable model. The margins are likely going to crush you. So financially, paying the highest wage for equal employees is, financially unsustainable.
Well, Josh, next question. Where do you think most employees rank the feeling of making progress?
So, we think about what the employees do rank. I would think the number one thing that employees value, and probably anybody values in any situation, is progress. Yeah. People value progress. They value, wage is one thing, but if they feel like they're getting to a higher wage, if they think, hey, this position has an opportunity for growth, not that I am the highest paid receptionist, but someday, instead of a receptionist, I can be a manager here. If they feel like there's a way to be involved in, progressing them through their career, people generally value progress higher than any other factor in their lives, probably at the top of that pyramid.
Now, Josh, do personal progress, career progress, and the company's progress all matter?
Yeah. There can be different differentiations between that, and some people will value different things more. They're worried about, am I progressing in my personal life? Does this job actually allow me to progress, have the type of family that I want, and have the type of lifestyle that I want? And even if it doesn't now, is it setting me up to be in a situation where, it's more ideal in the future? Some people are going to rank that. Some people will think about, as a professional, am I acquiring more skills that I'm going to, progress through my career more quickly? And some people, they want to be part of a team that's moving forward. And I would say that actually most people want to be part of all 3. They want to be part of a career that's helping them progress their personal lives forward, that's moving them forward in their careers, and their skill set is expanding, as well as they're part of a company that's progressing as well. Different people will rank all three probably differently, but almost all of them value all three of them.
Another big question, Josh. Do you have to be careful to provide mentorship but not become a life coach?
Yeah, so you have to be aware of the fact that we need to be setting employees up for success personally. And sometimes there is a little bit of mentorship that goes into that. There's a little bit of coaching that goes into it. And that should be expected. You should be expected to meet with employees one-on-one and discuss challenges of what they're having. But at the same time, you are probably not a life coach. So if that's something that you can knock off and block into your week, that you have a certain amount of one-on-one time with employees, that's one thing. But if that starts encroaching on the rest of the schedule that you have to meet with clients and do the work and do the content for the business, you got to realize that you're not in the business of being a life coach. So you want to provide, you need to have some time blocked out in your schedule for mentorship of employees. But at the same time, you have to make sure that mentorship is not becoming so time consuming that it's affecting, the other core aspects of your business.
Yeah, and there's other things you can do for team building and mentorship, like going out and having dinner or going to other events and doing things with the team as a team building, doing as a group as opposed to one-on-one.
100%.
That I think you can help grow your business and help with that all-important culture that you want to build.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It doesn't have to be the one. You probably need some time for one-on-one, but doing it as a group, a lot of them need the same things. They want to increase their skills. They want to build the company. A lot of the same skills everybody can benefit from it. So present it in a group, and you get the same benefit for less of a time commitment, for sure.
Absolutely, batch the work.
Yep.
Now, do most employers see training as an expense rather than a cost savings tool?
Yeah, so we probably think that, okay, I'm going to invest in this training. I'm going to do this group training. That's going to cost X. I have that many employees sitting there for this many minutes. They all make this amount of money. So that has an expense. But they're not thinking about the cost savings. They're not thinking about the fact that doing that training makes that employee more likely to stay. Doing that training makes that employee more productive in every future hour that they're working, so they're actually getting more work done. So we need to, shift the mindset into thinking how much it costs, but what is the potential payback from that activity? We need to consider both sides of the coin. And we can't spend 40 hours a week training employees, but man, if we can spend 2 hours a week, 5% of our time, and we can increase our productivity by 10%, that's why we're doing it.
That's huge. And Zig Ziglar told a story one time. Someone was asking, what if we train our employees and they leave? And then Zig fired back and said, well, what if we don't and they stay?
Exactly. Exactly. Do you actually want that person on the bus anymore? That's a great one for that, for sure.
Now, will doing work that matters help you retain employees?
Yeah, 100%. So doing work that matters, people value, they value progress. We've identified they value progress, but they also value doing work that matters. I mean, that's why, not-for-profits are able to a lot of times acquire volunteers to work for them. People aren't getting anything, or professionals that are working for far less than their market rate in a private industry. They're working there because they think the work matters, right? So I'm not suggesting that all business owners become not-for-profits, but I'm suggesting that you should start doing work that matters and communicating to your team why that matters, because that's one of those considerations that people value, certainly in addition to money, but a lot of times even more than money.
Yeah, and that's why at Spurrell & Associates with Inspired Method, we've teamed up together because we're doing meaningful work, helping business owners beat the odds, right? That's why we've switched to Edmonton Business Coach as opposed to just Spurrell CPA and Inspired Method. We are using the term or the headline of helping Canadian businesses to beat the odds. That is our winning thing. That is the work that matters, and that's what wakes us up in the morning and gets us here, because we want to help people to succeed in their business and not become a statistic.
100%. Yeah.
Now, Josh, will additional paid time off help you maintain employees?
Yeah, that's one of the things that people will value. Sometimes they they look at, okay, I can make this at this job, but the other job will give me more time off, and that can rank higher. They're thinking about a job, and one pays $20 an hour, and the other one pays $21 an hour, but one of them gives 2 more weeks vacation. That's usually enough sometimes that they're going to shift it back into that 2 weeks time off. Those are the times that they can spend with their families and make memories that otherwise wouldn't be possible with $1 extra an hour. It's just something that's only possible with more time.
Yeah. Now, will flexible hours help you to keep employees?
Flexible hours can be a tool that you can deploy too. So we're looking at you probably want to make sure that they're progressing in their career. You want to make sure that they have some paid time off, and if possible, you can look at maybe you're in the type of job where you can give them more flex time. Not the answer for everybody, but some employers that should be one that they're looking at, because it'll help you keep your wage costs down, is providing an extra level of flexibility. Maybe you can have a flexible finish time depending on the nature of the work, or they can sign up for different shifts at different times. Not for everybody, not in every line of business, but if you should look at it as a tool to minimize your labor costs.
All right, Josh. Now, can the physical workspace help you keep employees?
Yeah, so sometimes you can pay people more, but if the working condition sucks, you're working in 40-degree heat and the chairs are uncomfortable, and nobody can, the technology is breaking down all the time. That's going to be a reason why people stay or go, and whether you pay them more, it's still going to be a frustration that could, no matter what you're paying them, people don't, like being uncomfortable. They don't like working inefficiently. So sometimes the physical workspace and the tools that they have available, that's the way to keep people.
Now, do you need to deploy all of these tactics, Josh?
You don't need to deploy all of them. In fact, it's probably not that beneficial to deploy all of them, because probably some of them are going to work in some industries and some won't, and you don't want to try to be everything to everyone. We don't have the most flexibility on start and stop times here. It doesn't work because we have schedule-driven appointments all day. But time off is more of our goal. So you don't need to deploy all these tactics, but you need to deploy some of them. Doing work that matters and making progress, I think you need to deploy those. I think you need to relate that back in every business. But when you start looking at, how nice you can make the workspace, or can I give flex time, or can I give more time off, things like those, you can balance them, pick and choose which one works for you. But they're all tools at your disposal, and I would look at using some of them for sure.
Now, that's some great Edmonton business coach advice. Last question. If you do everything right, can you avoid employee turnover?
Yeah, here it is too. You do all this right. You pay them the fair wage, that a competitive wage, not the highest wage, but a fair wage, a competitive wage. You're making them, setting up a situation where they can progress in their personal life and their career, and they can see the business progressing. You're reaffirming how you're doing work that matters. You can give them time off or give them flex time, and guess what? You are still going to lose employees. That doesn't mean you blow up the system. That means you have to have a system in place to onboard more employees. Don't drive yourself nuts thinking that you are going to be the business that never loses employees. I always say this, 50% of all marriages end in divorce, but we are arrogant enough to think that we can keep all of our employees. It is pure crazy. It is just crazy when you start looking at it. You're going to lose employees. That average turnover time is 2.3 years, differs by different industry, but let's say you move the bar to 3 years or 2.5 years, even 0.2 difference. You're doing a good job. Keep doing it. Don't every time you have a conflict with an employee, just change the perspective, because you got to remember there's a bunch of other employees who are only there because of what you're doing, right? Yeah. So don't worry about employee turnover. Think critically about it on how I'm doing on a big scale, but any one employee event is not a reason to change the course at all.
Excellent advice, Mr. Edmonton business coach. Now, what else do you have for us? Do you have anything else to share in this video about things that employees value more than money?
I think we covered most of it today. I know about things that employees value more than money. The key is you're really just thinking about as business owners, we're guilty. We think money is at the top. Money is important. but it's not generally the top concern. Paying, and in fact, even if you do pay top dollar, a lot of times that'll be the reason why you go out of business. And if you ignore the other things, you'll lose them anyways.
Yeah.
So you're paying top dollar to still lose them. You got to think about the other things.
Biggest thing is you can't please everyone. You're not going to keep them all.
That's right. So I think that's what we have here today. Thanks again for tuning in. As always, we look forward to any comments that you have so we can respond and use your feedback for future videos. And please hit the like and subscribe button so we can continue to deliver you tips on how to beat the odds of business. Thanks very much.